Party, party, party. Dance, dance, dance.
Dance under the moonlight.
Party, party, party. One love, one love.
Say to you, Phoebe, I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
You have truly been out here working hard. You have kept yourself up as long as I've been knowing you
Yes.
from being a kid. But I salute you and kudos to you for definitely going out and highlighting and sharing with the community, keeping them informed of people that's out here to help them.
Mm-hmm.
Many people don't do that. You know why? Because they're selfish. A lot of times they're about themselves, and if they're not gaining anything from it, they're not trying to help and enlighten people. So, but you take it upon yourself, your heart, and you go out here and you share with the community different people that are out here for them.
Yeah.
So I salute you for that, Queen, and I love you for that.
I appreciate
and keep
that.
up the great work and keep doing everything that you're doing.
Look, Brian always had an old soul. I'm older than you, Brian.
You could be.
Talking about when I was a kid.
Well,
I saw you. I used to
alive.
see you on your business, and you'll be here and there, come and show your love, but you move around just like I did. Me and my friends, we come for a minute, then we disappear and go do other things, and just exploring the world and ourselves and making sure we wanted to be somebody in life. So, but I appreciate my flowers that we give each other. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
That's my pleasure.
I'm honored to be here with Mr. Brian Picket, owner of Brian Picket LLC Funeral Home Services on the west side of Chicago. But we know each other from our neighborhood, Cabrini Green area. First of all, I want to say I'm proud of you and what you're doing and just creating generational wealth and teaching people from our community that you can have businesses, especially as one such like this. So let's just dive right into it. How did you even get into the funeral service business?
Oh, wow, man. Coming up from the north side of Chicago, you know, I was blessed to purchase the Johnson Funeral Home. And Mr. Johnson gave me an opportunity to be the youngest funeral home owner. He had his attorney come looking for me to come to his house. And he told me, he said, young man, he said, how would you like to have Johnson Funeral Home? And I laughed at him and, you know, because I just thought he wanted me to do something. So I said, Mr. Johnson, whatever, what do you want? You know, I'll go do it for you, whatever. He said, no, I'm serious. He said, I can't do no more. I'm old and I can't get out this bed and I'm 98 years old and I want you to take it. And he did. He made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And it's been a blessing to be able to serve the north side of Chicago, be still own the Johnson Funeral Home and still keep it going today and still see the same people I grew up with and to be able to serve. And it has truly been an honor to serve our people.
Like in education, like let's talk about that education wise. For him, he's like a mentor to you. For him to even come to you with that means he saw something in you, which is awesome, man. Speaking of Johnsons, it's kind of legendary in our neighborhood. A lot of my family members, maybe they rest in peace, had their services there. My sister in particular, I love you. Shout out to you. Long live Rhonda.
Amen.
Talk about that education background and how would you guide the youth into this business?
Yeah. Well, one thing for sure that even today, I'm probably one of the only funeral home owners that takes time with our youth. But my first thing is to anybody is to always make sure that whatever you do, that it's in your passion, whether it be the funeral industry, whether it be mechanics or engineering. First of all, make sure it's truly in your heart and your passion, something that you love and something that you're going to enjoy to do. There's oftentimes that our people, they go out and they want to be a part of an industry that they feel is making a lot of money. But the thing of truth is that what makes me well won't make good for the next person if your heart is not in it. So the first very important thing is to make sure that your heart is there. And when your heart is there, that's when you're going to always find ways to recreate and reinvent whatever product you have, and the money is going to automatically come. Oftentimes, people just go chase money, but they don't have the mindset or the heart to create a product for the people. And if you don't have that, then you'll just be sitting there waiting on money that'll never come.
And that education piece is important. Like, talk about the background of that. Even like, where would a person start if this was one of their goals to say, I want to have a funeral service business?
So the first thing definitely, is to go, and when you graduate from high school, then you can go and register at a mortuary science college.
Okay.
I myself went to Malcolm X. You have another one here called Worsham, but you can go and definitely take up education there to become a funeral director or an embalmer, to be able to have a funeral home or to even be a part of the industry.
Okay. I wanted to talk about an important piece because there's other entities that goes with this process. One, how do you deal with family members when they come in to utilize your business to take care of their loved ones, like final moments? How does that work?
Well, one thing for sure, it's challenging at times, but you definitely have to have empathy. And I thank God for the love that I have for him, because I'm telling you, many times you got families coming here that is dealing with grief in so many different ways. Sometimes we get beat up on, sometimes we get families that just cry. But when, again, that goes back to saying, with it being your heart and passion, that you find ways to have empathy for them, you patient. That's something that you don't often find, people being patient with families, being understanding, even to the point when I state you get beat up on because you got families grieving and they're angry. And no matter what I say at times, or no matter what we say, they're just going to be ready to snap at you with anything, but understanding that it's not so much anything you're doing wrong, but you're just being there, you're being patient and understanding with them during the process and helping them to get the things that they need. So that way this last time will be a lasting time, and one that they can remember that they did everything that they can right to put their loved one to rest.
And just basically, you guys are the experts in those lasting moments, right? And it's important to have empathy in this moment, because this is you guys dealing with somebody of a loss.
Yes.
And also another important piece when I think about in our neighborhood is that life insurance piece, right? Let's educate our people on that, because a lot of times we see a lot of us in our neighborhoods, we spend money on our priorities are not correct. Let's put it that way. And then when it's time for this lasting moment, families are struggling and bigger. And so talk about that important piece. And that's even in with life insurance and preparing for your last moment. How important is that for families to have life insurance to prepare for their last moment? Because at the end of the day, the people that are still here have to deal with that.
That's true. And that is so important. Unfortunately, not everybody, especially coming from our community, have families that are well off and that leave you a financial blessing, And when you don't have those situations, it's imperative that you definitely go forth and get life insurance to be able to help take care of those final expenses. Although me personally, I feel that life insurance is not technically for funerals.
Right.
Life insurance technically is for your loved ones to still be able to survive after your passing. Because when you marry, right, your husband can contributed to so much, and after you pass away, his income is no longer there. So he needs to have life insurance that's so much time his income, so that wife is not struggling, don't lose the house and lose everything that you built. But in our Black community, we don't believe in pre-arrangement. It's always good to pre-arrange a funeral, pay on it, and when it's paid off, you never have to pay for it again. Right. That money sits in a trust. The funeral home don't spend it, nobody spends it, but it can sit there the next 50 to 100 years until that time come, and it's locked from inflation. So you spend $5,000 today for a funeral, 50 years it may be worth $30,000, but that person don't spend more. But it is, if you're not able to do that, life insurance is very important, so that we don't have to go get a GoFundMe, so we don't have to go out there and ask the community for help and things like that, because that often happens. People think GoFundMe is a new insurance thing, but not everybody is still able to do that.
Step one, with what you just educated us on, a trust for these final moments.
Yes.
Tell the people out there how they can do that, because this is education. This is critical. And to me, locking in those costs will help families.
Yes. One thing I would say that, although especially in our community, we don't like to talk about funerals, the truth is that we all are going to pass away. I have yet to see anything on this world that's here forever. I'm
Right.
talking about from a tree to, a refrigerator, a stove, a house. Eventually, it all has to be demolished or torn down. And the same thing with our lives. Eventually, we will have to go. So the reality is that it's imperative, just as though we come into this world and we know that many of us losing people, close relatives and different ones, that we know death is going to come upon us. So it's definitely great to go sit down with the funeral home to prearrange your own funeral. So when you pass away, guess what? You know what your wishes are, what you want to do, how you want it, because there's oftentimes that you leave things for your family to do. And guess what? They do it the way they want. Many times I sit here and my first question to the family, what was your loved one's favorite color? What did they want and how they want it? Well, I just think it should be blue, but was that their color? But if you prearrange and you do it the way you want, when that time comes, they don't have to figure out how mom or dad or cousin wanted it. They don't have to fight because they fight, because they make it about themselves over the decedent. But when you get it down on black and white, the funeral home now represents you. I've been to court. Families have taken me to court trying to sue me to change things. But guess what? I represent you, and the court stand behind me. So when you make that prearrangement and you put your wishes on black and white, even your last will and testament, whatever it is that you so desire, we stand in the gap for you, and we fight to make sure it's done the way you want it. And when it's paid for, guess what? It's locked from inflation. It goes into a trust, and your family don't have to worry about paying anything later on down the line. That's one less thing you have to worry about, and you know that you're going to be put away respectfully.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Right there, I'm just going to say a shout out to my parents, because sometimes, like you said, we don't want to talk about this, but my parents, they tell us, this is where the paperwork is at. This is what you need to do. This is what I want. And I appreciate that, because that's proper preparation. And I feel like you're thinking about us in the future. So thank you for that information.
Kudos to them, because oftentimes parents don't even share that with their children. Many times they come here scrabbling, trying to figure out what's what, where is this and that. For even them doing that for you, that's definitely preparation. So very good. Kudos to your parents.
And so I appreciate that, because these conversations need to be had. Although we're promoting on Spontaneous, my Maccas out there, you already know, Black-owned businesses, right? But the people that are doing these things, I bring them to you so that you can gain some knowledge. So what kind of advice would you give a student, like if you were mentoring them, whether this was the way to go or not, what type of advice would you give them?
The greatest advice that I go back to what I was speaking about early, is first of all, finishing school. Start thinking about what you want to do in life, and that goes back to making sure it's in your heart and your passion. Just finding out what you want to do, so when you go to college, that you're taking the right classes and for the area to which you want to get into. So while you're young and you have your youth, put into education, put into making yourself great. I'm not saying don't have fun, but know how to balance it. But the 51% of that should be about business, about education, and preparing yourself for your future. So that way, when you get older, you can play more later, because you got all that education, everything out the way. So that's very important.
Very important. I agree. I like that you said prepare in high school, because I'm just going to keep it real. A lot of us from our neighborhoods, we can't afford to really play around. We don't have that, gap year money and stuff like that. So you're absolutely correct. Even if it's your passion, and if that's something you want to do, figure out steps you could create to work in your passion.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean with that? So I appreciate you telling our youth that please just go and do it and be consistent.
Absolutely. Consistent.
Right.
That's right.
And this just leads me to, because we see what you also do with your daughter, like passing the torch to her, preparing her. Talk to us about that for generational blessings.
Yes. Well, one thing for sure, I can say that my daughter is what helped me become the man I am.
Okay.
Outside of my mom and dad, who's still together today, teaching me about what family is. But my daughter made me the man I am today, because I realized I had to be the man that I wanted her to have. That means that, I'll say about a few years after that, her mom and I went through some things and we ended up divorcing. And of course gave me my daughter, so I became a single dad.
Okay.
So I raised my daughter, just her and I, against the world. So the funeral industry is all she knew, but she was with me at everything. I wanted to teach her what was right, teach her about responsibility. But it's a joy to all our young men and even women that have children. Love on your kids. Understand that after we're gone and pass away, they're the ones that's going to carry out our legacy. They're the ones that's going, everything we teach them from years down the line, they're the ones that's going to keep our name, going to keep the love that we gave to them alive. Also doing mentoring, with our youth, with our young people, as we teach them, educate them, and mentor them in any way that we can. But she's been great. I'm so proud of her, and I'm grateful for her.
If someone wanted to have some knowledge, do business with you, how could they find you?
You can definitely give us a call here at the funeral home, 312-642-535 number. I still got that, so you can reach me there. You can call me here at this office at 773-413-7774. A lot of them even go on Instagram to _BP. But I just want you to know that that's what I'm here for. Thank God for a phenomenal staff that handles the funeral industry for me. But I'd be here to take care of our community. So any advice you need, any help, from losing, your loved one to getting ready to lose a house or buying a house or trying to do a business, that's what I'm here to help you to start a business or do whatever it is that you need to do. So don't ever feel like you're alone.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time today. And thank you guys for tuning in on Spontaneous, where you never know what we'll be talking about or what we'll be doing.
Party, party, party. Dance, dance, dance.
Dancing in the moonlight.
Party, party, party. One love.